ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು PK. ನಾನು ತೇಜ್ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯಿಂದ ನಿಮಗೋಸ್ಕರ KRTET 2025 ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಪವರ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ವಿ. ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತು KRTET ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಟೀಚರ್ ಎಲಿಜಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಈ ಸಾರಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಪೇಪರ್ ಇದೆ, ಪೇಪರ್ 1 ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪೇಪರ್ 2. ಪೇಪರ್ 1 ಪೇಪರ್ 2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಇರೋದು ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪೆಡಗಾಜಿ. ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬರೋದು 30 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈ 30 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸು ತುಂಬ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ನಾನು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೇನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ನ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ತೇಜ್ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಈ ಸಾರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ನ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅದು ಹೇಗೆ? ವಿ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಪವರ್ ಕೋರ್ಸಸ್. ಒಂದು 8 ರಿಂದ 9 ನಿಮಿಷ ವಿಡಿಯೋನ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಯಾವುದು ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೂ ತುಂಬ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡಲ್ಲಿ. ಯಾವುದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಅದ್ರ ಮುಂಚೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ನಮ್ಮದು ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಇರೋದು ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್. ಪ್ರತಿ KRTET ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ 3 ರಿಂದ 4 ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸು ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ? ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಆಲ್ ದ ಮೇಜರ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್, ಎಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್, ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಮಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಿಸೈಸ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋನ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಈ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಫ್ರೀ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ನ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ತೇಜ್ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮದು ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಚಾನಲ್ಗೆ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಬಂದುಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಟು ತೇಜ್ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿ ಆ್ಯಪ್ which you can download on Google Play Store, or you can just scan here the given QR and you can access to our digital notes. Other than providing digital notes, we are also providing chapter-based MCQs. And with chapter-based MCQs, we are also going to provide you with previous year's questions. So while watching videos, you'll go through the content and you can visit our app and go through the mock tests and questions to check your knowledge regarding how much have you understood. Welcome back. And in this video, we are going to discuss about Unifactor theory of intelligence. If you'll remember the last class, we were talking about 2 major types intelligence theories are divided into. And in this session, we are going to discuss about the first one, that is the psychometric or structural. Now, in this psychometric or structural, we discussed that various theories are going to come in. And the first one is Unifactor theory of intelligence, also known as one-factor theory of intelligence. This theory was given by Alfred Binet. This was the first intelligence theory ever given. Now, let us understand what are the important aspects that come in the uni or one-factor theory of intelligence given by Alfred Binet. First psychologist to formalize intelligence, Alfred Binet was the first psychologist to formalize intelligence. What did he talk about in this? He talked about differentiating intelligence, right? Interest is distinguishing intelligence individuals, right? Based on the intelligent in distinguishing different things, we can divide individuals into intelligent or lesser intelligent. What is one of the set of the abilities? He says, Alfred Binet says that intelligence is as a unified set of skills. Very important. If a question comes in Kartet asking which psychologist said that intelligence as a unified set of skills, you have to remember it is Alfred Binet and the theory is Unifactor or one-factor theory of intelligence. Then in this theory, he also says that solving environmental problems, these abilities, the intelligence that we have, they help us in solving the environmental problems. How do we solve these environmental problems? By applying abilities, right? We were saying that we have one set of abilities. So by using these abilities, by applying these abilities, we'll be able to solve the environmental problems. So this is the Unifactor or one-factor theory of intelligence given by Alfred Binet. So, we discussed all these things in detail. Let me quickly read it out for you. Alfred Binet was the first psychologist who tried to formalize the concept of intelligence in terms of mental operations. That is, he was the first person to assess, to find out how much a person is intelligent or how to identify intelligence in an individual. Binet's theory of intelligence was rather simple as it arose from his interest in differentiating more intelligent from less intelligent individuals. We have to remember very carefully that this theory was born based on his interest in differentiating more intelligent from less intelligent individuals. So, one question bantu anಕೊಳ್ಳಿ exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ, which psychologist started his theory based on differentiating more intelligent from less intelligent individuals, right? Or which psychologist worked on differentiating more intelligent from less intelligent individuals andaga it is unifactor or one factor theory given by Alfred Binet. Then ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂದರೆ he conceptualized intelligence as consisting of one similar set of abilities which can be used for solving any or every problem in an individual's environment. ಪ್ರತಿ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಹತ್ರ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಎಬಿಲಿಟೀಸಿಂದ ಅವರು ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ನ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ವಾಸ್ ಹೆವಿಲಿ ಕ್ರಿಟಿಸೈಸ್ಡ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಒನ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಟು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್. ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಗೇವ್ ಅ ಫೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್ ಥಿಯರೀಸ್. So this is unifactor theory of intelligence given by Alfred Binet. Let us move on to the next one. Next one is two-factor theory of intelligence. Okay, two-factor theory of intelligence. What does this two-factor theory talk about? The interplay of general and specific intelligence. Here, two intelligence are there. One is general and the other one is specific intelligence. E general intelligence na we denote it as G. Aita? And the specific intelligence is denoted as S. So, if you can see here, if it is very clearly given, one thing is domain excellence. Andre, high general and specific intelligence is central barutte. Then, general intelligence or G factor. Idu yenandre, these are the core mental operations. E G factor are must to do all the aspects. ಇವಾಗ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಹತ್ರ if any individual is supposed to have general intelligence factor or G factor, this is used to solve all different types of problems. But then there he also talked about specific abilities or S factor. This is domain specific talent. If we'll take the example of a swimmer is very good in swimming, but he can do all other tasks also. So the S factor for him is swimming, whereas the G factor for him is all other problems that others do. Right? So this is two-factor theory of intelligence. Now you may be wondering, who gave this two-factor theory of intelligence? It is Charles Spearman. Charles Spearman in the year 1927 gave this two-factor theory of intelligence. In 1927, Charles Spearman proposed a two-factor theory of intelligence employing a statistical method called factor analysis. So please remember the keyword statistical method and factor analysis. Ivaga nimge KRTET alli one question bantu ankoli. Who was the first psychologist to use a statistical method to identify or classify intelligence? Then it is Charles Spearman. Okay? And the method that he used, nimge direct question bantu ankoli exam alli. Charles Spearman yav technique na employ madirodu, right? To do the statistical method, which technique did he employ? Then the answer is factor analysis. Next nodre, he showed that intelligence consists of general factor, that is G factor, and last and some specific factors which they are good at, called as S factors. The G factor includes mental operations. Very important. If G factor really include mental operations, ನಮ್ಮ brain ಅಲ್ಲಿ cognitive operations ಇರುತ್ತೆ, which are primary and common to all performances. The G factor, what he's saying, what Charles Spearman in the two-factor theory of intelligence he's saying is, this G factor, which is our mental operations, are primary for all individuals, and these are used to perform all common tasks. The S factor includes many specific abilities. I took the example, right? Someone is good at swimming, someone is a good sports person, right? Or someone is good at a particular task. So the S factor is present in those specific individuals. For example, ಇಲ್ಲಿ clear ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, excellent singers, architects, scientists and athletes may have maybe high on G factor, but in addition to this, they have specific abilities which allow them to excel in their respective domains, the S factor. So ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇನ್ ನಾವು ಏನೇನು ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, two-factor theory of intelligence ಅಲ್ಲಿ first thing we have to remember is the person, Charles Spearman. He gave, ಇವ್ರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು two-factor theory of intelligence. ಯಾವ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? 1927 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Then he was the first person to employ statistical method, and the method that he used was called factor analysis. ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನಂದ್ರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ two main things ಇದೆ. One is the G factor, ಇನ್ನೊಂದಿರೋದು S factor. ಈ G factor common abilities ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಈ S factor specific abilities ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡುತ್ತೆ. So these are the major points that you have to remember from two-factor theory of intelligence given by Charles Spearman.